Welcome, everyone, to the Energy Advisors Podcast. I'm your host, Rex, that energy guy. Got a great episode for you today, very educational. I try to provide these as much as possible in between our interviews with folks. And I've actually reached out to the Department of Energy to talk about this. We're talking about hydropower today. Most people know very little about it. It's not a sexy technology for most people. And I was kind of excited to understand it has almost unlimited potential. The oldest, most reliable, works around the clock technology, hydropower. We're going to learn about that today. All right. But before we get started with this episode, we always want to thank our partners in the show, our good friends at Smart. Smart is doing something that I'm very excited about. They're bringing renewables to just about everyone. The goal is to open up over 2,000 stores across the United States. So most of America will live within just a few miles of a Smart showroom. Renewables that include solar and whole house storage, looking at your abilities to power your home through smart technology. Smart has it all. So it's smart energy for smarter living. Visit their website at smartcenters.com. Our good friends over at Tax Hive, and this is really important. Taxes are always your biggest bill. And people don't even think about that. They think of their bill, their mortgages, or their utilities, or whatever. But taxes are your biggest bill, and they always play a role in deploying renewable technologies at your home when you're trying to get efficiency, save money, gain independence. Do not do it alone. You need professionals. We worked with them, vetted their systems, and these guys are great. They're a Kevin O'Leary company. So they've got a big brand and they will help you. So don't do it alone, taxhive.com. Our friends over at Go Green Community Initiative. I love what these guys are doing. It's really important. Listen, don't fall prey to sales pitches. Don't have a vendor lead you down a path. At Go Green Community Initiative, not only do they sponsor programs for the greenest community in your state and across the nation, Go Green Community will give you a free energy evaluation that then results in a My Personal Energy Plan. And so you can have a baseline, get the education, understand all the implications and what you can really do. It's pretty exciting. GoGreenCommunityInitiative.org. Our friends at Universal Wind Kinetics. I like working with these folks. Renewable technologies are always based on use cases. So everything doesn't work everywhere, but you need to take a look at micro wind technology. It is fast growing in the United States, harnessing the wind. It's pretty exciting. Lots of advancements in that technology. So Universal Wind Kinetics. All right. So today I'm really excited about the show today because it's an area that most people just don't pay much attention to, hydropower. And gosh, when you scroll through social media and you see all the bantering and discussions, when's the last time anybody actually talked about hydropower? Well, what do you know about hydropower? Well, I was enlightened when I started to do some research. And the hydropower is actually managed by our government, is in the Department of Energy, so energy.gov, but it's the Office of the Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. And like I said, I have invited them to come on the show, but I wanted to give you some baseline education to get it started. So hydropower has been around for more than 2,000 years. It's documented that the Greeks used hydropower through their aqua systems to actually grind grain. And so it's had hundreds of uses over the past 2,000 years. So it's the oldest renewable power generation too, because it was used first for doing renewable electricity. Now, statistically, in the United States, hydropower contributes to about 6.3% of the total power consumption. It's not a big number in the big scheme of things, but that's because it's been ignored, and you'll understand that today. However, being 6% of the electricity, it's actually almost 20%, 27% of the renewable electricity generation. Pumped storage, hydropower, remains to be the largest contributor of U.S. energy storage and represents roughly 96% of commercial storage capacity in the United States. And that's statistics that apply in 2024. Now, what I love about hydropower, it's clean, it's renewable, It's a domestic source, so we're not relying on some sort of supply chain issues. And it actually contributes in a big way because think about this. When we talk about use cases, people talk about, well, solar, well, that's great when the sun's shining. Well, a wind, well, okay, that's great when the wind's blowing. But what about hydropower? Well, it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rain, sleet, snow, or sunshine. So it's pretty interesting when you stop and think about that. Now, it's it's really a very underutilized technology and almost has unlimited untapped potential because, for example, most people don't realize that less than 3% of the multi-purpose dams in the United States actually are used to generate electricity. And so it's incredible that there's this enormous untapped source for energy. Now, tax credits actually apply there, and there's some great new companies that are starting to take a look at this on how they can utilize generating electricity with multi-purpose dams. So it's really interesting technology to help people understand. Now, I really had not thought about the consistency of this. We get into this concept that, oh my gosh, everything's got to be solar or it's got to be wind or working towards hydro fuel cells, or someday in the distant future, and hopefully not that far, that we will have micro nuclear capabilities. But it's really interesting, and I thought it to be very eye-opening, the fact that the marketplace is so ignoring this type of technology. And so there's some big technology advancements that are happening here. There's some companies that are actually working on, in addition to traditional dam, multi-use dam, creating the power, of actually working on harnessing the power of the waves from the ocean. So as they come into beaches and places that are not used for public use, that technology can be used to harness the power of the waves. Because when's the last time you went to the ocean and the waves stopped? Okay. So it's pretty exciting to see what's happening in this particular sector of the operations. And now people think, well, what about droughts where water resources are becoming more scarce, especially in the western part of the United States or more arid areas? Well, that is true, but still the water that we do have is flowed. And even in a wet season or a drought season, that water that does go downstream still can be used to generate power. So I'm excited to get a representative from the Department of Energy to come on to this show. We're hoping that this happens pretty soon. I've got some folks that are interested in sharing the stories about the new technologies and what's happening there. So excited to give you these snippets. It's unrealized and underutilized, and people just really aren't paying attention to hydropower. So get on the U.S. Energy Department's website, energy.gov, and you can just do a search there for the Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy Office within the Department of Energy, and you can learn more about it and subscribe to their newsletter. You can get a lot of information about that. So if you're going to be top of mind and someone who's paying attention to everything, add hydropower to your horizons in renewable energies. Well, until next time, I want to thank everyone for listening. If you're watching on the video platforms, please don't forget to subscribe and select the notifications. If you're following on the podcast platforms, just follow the show, comment, and contribute. So you can always get more information about the show at energyadvisorspodcast.com. And until next time, I will say what I always say: thanks, and make it a great day.